Oh, as promised. Oh, clean. We're going to take a little bit in-depth look at these babies. So I'm going to take them out one at a time. These are our 3-week-olds. And then our month-olds, our 5-week-olds are in various places, actually. So they usually get dispersed amongst the mamas, depending on their type. So the darks go with the darks. If the darks get too many, then we do a double-decker. So we have put stairs, basically a ramp goes in, and they have access to both levels. That's what we do. Tuxedos and our sparrows girls up there. And so depending on what the babies are, that's where they graduate to. So far, our first batch, this is my second batch, and then our third is right there, and then our fourth is right there. So our first batch is, we had a feral boy and feral girl, which is feather sexable, which is very easy to identify. And the other girl was a tuxedo. She's down there as well with the other girls. The way I sex them at that point, if they're not feather sexable, I use my Daryl and Darkness, which is my OG mamas. One's a feral, which is in here, and one's Darkness is one of the reds over here. She's right there on the total end. She's a tiny, tiny girl. So they'll sex them for me, and how I do that is I put them in a kennel like this, and put one of the babies in at a time, and then observe her. If she sometimes I'll put food in there just because that usually is like we need them to interact. And then if it's a boy, she'll chase him into a corner, won't let him move. And if it's a girl, she'll ignore him. So all of the 3-week-olds, which are feathered out completely, as you can see, I'm doing some holding technique right now with them. This is how we work on. I usually don't do a lot of, other than transporting them from one place to the other, dust box, so I can clean them out. They all go into the dust box. They generally don't start dusting really until they get their feathers, which is about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and so they'll start doing it then. But they go in there, here nor there, from day one. They go from there to there. I transport them individually, and other than that, I don't really socialize with them. I verbalize with them. I do some training as far as recognizing different commands, but I don't really do a lot of hands-on because their instinct is to be scared. And so I don't want to ruin that relationship by ruining the relationship. So I kind of like hands off. They have a nanny. All my birds have nannies, au pairs, or whatever you want to call them, babysitters, big sisters. They're all basically usually either, if I don't have any juvenile to use, usually my first batch doesn't get a whole lot, just because they're the first batch. But what I usually do is I stagger my batches every 2 weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks, and so by the time the second batch is ready to have au pairs, usually I wait until they are past that fragile stage, usually about 3 days to a week. Then I'll introduce the au pairs at that point. I don't do anything when they're fragile, which is, like I said, about almost a whole week. I don't want to put anything in there to stress them out, and yeah. So anyway, I wait until they're about a week old, and then I go ahead and put one of the other girls in there. I do try out the moms, but usually they violently say, I don't want, you're looking at a box, sorry, she's in my hands. Generally speaking, I observe them. They're pretty good about telling me right away if they're not going to be happy about being a babysitter. So sometimes my first group doesn't get that as much. But I put softies in there, so they have a parrot bird in there as a stuffy, that actually mimics them, but I haven't turned it on. It basically is supposed to mimic them, but there's so much noise in the house that it's hard for them to mimic and distinguish the sounds. And then I just put a climbing object in there, which is my skeleton bird, which looks just like that. is in there, and that's just for them to facilitate playing. They generally do very well. Like I said, I introduced them to their group of where they're going to be going. But like I said, when they get fully feathered out like they are now, which is that 3-week mark, I put them in with the Darkness and Daryl, and they tell me if it's a boy or a girl. So they have identified all of these as girls. And they will be moving into their house probably in the next week. Well, the next couple days. We're waiting on all these things to happen. So all these have to hatch and be ready to go into here. Then when they're ready to go into here, they're going to go down there. And then these ones that are down there will be dispersed amongst the girls. So she's going to go in with the darks, obviously, because she's a dark. And I'm starting to put them in there together just a little bit, just so that they can get used to the moms that they're going to be with. So the next one we have in here, they're trying to avoid me, is, can I see you? Thank you, baby. This is one of the tuxedos. I think this one is Danny Boy's kids. I'm pretty 100% positive they're Danny Boy's. And Danny Boy's, a lot of his kids have, and he's very young himself. He's not even a year old. He's only about, I think about 6 months old, 8 months old. I'm terrible with time. So anyway, a lot of his are having the white tip wings because I bred him with tuxedos as well as tuxedo on top tuxedos. So anyway, this is his daughter, and she'll go with the tuxedos, which is down over there. But for now, obviously, she's going back in her house. And we're just doing a little bit of holding, which is why I want to do the video, because they need to get used to that. So, alright, here's another one. This one is another of the darks. I had 3 darks. Technically, that's baby girl's the 3rd dark. She is actually a red with white wingtips, which is really cool. But anyway, that's more than likely because her mama was probably Darkness, and I think she was bred with one of the ferals. And so this one will be going with the darks, obviously, because she's a dark. And she has dark. Isn't that cool? I love her. Dark. I know this is Darkness's child because Darkness is the only one I have that has dark legs like that. Anyway, she's going to go with the darks. And then we got the last one that's having a fit because she's in there so long. And this one is another tuxedo, which is probably Danny Boy's as well. Once again, it's the same type. Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. We're just practicing our wings. So we're going to hold on. I thought this one would have been a boy, but Daryl says no. Daryl says she's a girl. I'm going to give her kisses because she's fussing. I don't want them upset. So anyway, there they go. And so those are the ones that, now I'll show you the ones I haven't, I'll show you all 3 of the ones of the first batch for this season. The first one is my boy. Now like I said, he's around 5 weeks old. And, oops, be careful. Careful. He's so beautiful. Look at those colors. I know it. Oh, it's a pretty boy. Now, his daddy is a Froggy. I wanted to do Froggy my first season, and I regret doing it. But once again, he was not ready. The girls rejected him. And I'm not going to have him hurt. But the second season, he was able to do it. So, and this is his son. I'm trying to get a hold of him. We're working on holding them for pictures. I know, and one-handed is not easy. So there he is. Isn't he gorgeous? Those feathers are so beautiful. Oh, it's a pretty boy. I know you're so handsome. So he's going in the dust box. And I'm going to bring out the girls that he is hatchmates. So one of them is a feral. Like I said, they were roommates for quite a while. Come here, baby girl. She just came in here this week, like a couple days ago, because I'm moving everybody around. And so he's in here right now. They had this room together right next to the mamas. And then he's gonna move down there next to Red, which has the penthouse. We call the penthouse anytime. He's my OG right this year. He's my breeding boy. Him and Froggy. And so he's in the penthouse. He's my only jumbo boy. All the rest of them are standard size. And so I'm hoping to get some jumbos from him. Obviously I have, because I just showed you a couple of them. And then, like I said, this little munchkin here is going to move down and be his roommate. So it's basically, there's going to be a partition between the two walls, similar to what he has here with the girls. And he'll be in almost the same house type situation. So this is my girl. I'm trying to calm her down. Actually, she's a little bit more feisty than he is. And so his, like I said, Froggy is his daddy, and then this one would be Danny Boy is his dad. And so, different moms, different dads. And she's molting as well. Alright, so she's gonna go in there. She's getting her adult. She just had her juvenile feathers, and then now she's gonna get her adult feathers. Hi, babies. I'm looking for my little girl, which is probably hot, and it's hard to tell her. I have to touch her because she is so almost the same size. Tuxedos grow very, 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 very quickly as far as their size. This is their hatch mate. Like I said, looks like a bit bigger than they are, and it's just because, like I said, they tend to grow faster. But she's obviously a tuxedo, and this is from my line. She's a beautiful girl, and she's gonna go dust bathing with her hatch mates. They haven't seen each other for a while, so I try to keep them in the mix with each other, and then she'll go back. But like I said, these ones are gonna go dispersed amongst the group. So I'll have 2 coming in here, and then I'll have 2 coming in here. Generally speaking, that kind of encourages me to have them. This is eventually they're going to have both floors. But right now they don't. And so they'll go in there with those girls, and then they'll go in there with those girls, and then my next group, which is my babies, which are in here, I'm hoping they'll dust bathe together, but it doesn't sound like they're going to. Now, baby doll is hatchmates with these ones right here. So she's oh, it's so hot in here, baby. Let me see the heat. Yeah, it is warm in here. I'll turn it down, okay? I had it turned up. Let me turn it down. I gotta reach over here, guys. Just a minute. There we go. I had it up too high because when I cleaned it out, I moved it. So baby doll is going to be in the nursery. She's not going to be able to hang with the walkers. It's a hot baby. I'm so sorry. But if you look at the ones we have here, obviously we have a red jumbo over there. And then they're just getting their feathers now. They'll be completely feathered out and everything, and they'll, like I said, they're gonna move from here downstairs when these babies need the nursery. So that's whenever that happens. It's environmental that we usually do the moving, not necessarily. Obviously we have to be ready to be moved, but yeah. I know it's hot, baby. It's a hot baby. She said, Mama, it's hot. She's a hot mama. You want to get some drink? Look. You want a drink? Get a drink, baby girl. Get a drink. Come here. Look. I know it. Can you get up there? There you go. I knew you could do it. That's new to them. They've not had the tower before. So. But it looks like we have two, definitely have one red, solid red, and then it looks like we have some, we should have just feral. These should be all feral. There should be no tuxedo in here because I didn't breed any tuxedos with them. This batch was all feral and reds. So it looks like I got one red and 3 ferals out of it, and then that will mean the ferals will be feather sexable, and then I'll have to do the test with the red there. That's a sweet baby. Be nice. Be nice, babies. Ah, sweet baby. Are you guys playing? You are so sweet. You're so smart, babies. They are smart. That's a smart babies. Now they did get upset because all day today I played when I have birds that are ready to hatch, I start playing the chirping sound, and it kind of freaked them out a bit. Ah, sweet, sweet baby. You feeling any better, girlfriend? Oh, she's so hot. She's a hot mama. Why are you sitting under the light? Come on here. Come over here. Go over there, baby. It's too hot. Oh, she said that's in the way, mama. I put that in her way. Let me move it out of the way. That's why she's not under there. She usually hides, it goes under here. That's her little spot. Is that better, baby? Mama made it better for you. She's like, there's food in there. I didn't want to put the food over here, but I shouldn't have. You got all that food in there, huh? We'll just move this over here then. There. Is that what you want? I moved your dog, your bird, your house. I moved it over on the other side. You got to turn around. Gotta turn around. There you go. Keep going. I said put it over there for you so it's not so dirty. Oh, then you got a good spot there. Now you're between the lights. Is that better? Alright. We're so sweet, baby. Mommy don't want you sitting under the lights. Hi, girlfriend. So they should be showing their colors as far as their chest colors. I'm hoping soon. I think this one's a girl because I can already see the spots on her. I'm hoping they're all girls because I definitely don't need no boys. I still don't need no boys. I got all the boys. I got every boy I want except actually the ones that hatch. These are all it's not that I can't. It's gonna be a surprise, mostly because I can't remember what the names are. But they're a lighter bird. They're white base bird. They're still all caledones, so they're all blue eggs layers. But these are all white based. So they won't be done after these ones hatch. I'll be done. No more babies for this year. The first year I had to do a double breeding season just because I had 2 girls and 5 boys, and I lost 3 of those boys within 2 months. So, and they were just starting their they were just starting to be in their breeding season, and when I lost them. So I did get some of their genetics, so we definitely got some of their offspring off of them, but it was pretty traumatic. But anyway, I figured out what to do to solve that problem, which is unfortunately what I didn't want to do, which is get a hard kennel for them. But it's what we have to do to keep them safe. So anyway, so I started out very with a small amount. Originally it was 14 eggs. I got, like I said, 7 out of the 14. Of those 7, like I said, I lost 3 of those boys. So I end up with 2. Well, I end up losing 4 of those boys. I don't know why I say 3. I lost 3 right away. And then I lost the 4th one about 2 months later. But I have my original OG boy, which is Sunny D. So I'm getting dust in my throat from them. So I had Sunny D, Darkness, and my Daryl. So Daryl and Darkness are my girls, and Sunny D are my boy. And then like I said, I had to do 2 breeding seasons because I needed to mix some of my red line with my line. So I wanted to mix my feral girls with the red line, which I did. And then I already had a red line. It was just not her line. Her birds were very much like a burnt orange red, and mine were more of a dark brown red, I would say, like more of a dark brown red. And so I did mix those 2 up, obviously. And then I have standard, and then hers are jumbo. So, but I've like, this one is the one I got a couple of tuxedos, reds. Sparky's mine. But I had Panda and Teddy Bear, which are tuxedo red, so I had 2 of those. I have a red girl and a red boy, and I'm pretty positive I got a feral red boy out of it as well. So, but I'm proud of my boys. I really am. And my boys, oh my God, they are so beautiful. This one is my favorite. This is from her line. It's just that burnt orange with one of my feral girls. Oh, with Daryl, actually. But he's so birdie. He is so beautiful. Look at that. I just can't get over it, how pretty he is. Why are you... Oh, Sissy knocked... Sissy, why'd you do that? Sissy knocked his wall down. He's like, well, they get along pretty good. I've not seen them fight, and they've actually chosen to be with each other multiple times, but they're fighting now. Your name's supposed to be over here. You're the one that started it, mister. Sissy's really my beautiful boy, but he's got crossbeaks, so I can't use him genetically. But he's beautiful. Sunny D's downstairs. My OG boy. Looks like you guys have been messing with each other's house. See, they're going through their little heat and everything, so they get a little bit testy. And I haven't changed them out, so that's what I'm doing now. This is my line, which is the dark. So the difference between the other one and this one is the only difference is the red burnt orange. And then who's over here? That's my Danny. He's the one with the tuxedo with the white tips. So it was all his. And this one over here is my Dottie. And then my red, which is my, like I said, I haven't done the Oasis kennels yet. Come here, baby. Red is a very standoffish boy. But he's a jumbo. He's a beautiful boy. So that beautiful color. That's where I get that from. So those are the boys. Yeah. And hopefully I have at least one or two boys out of this batch. I'm hoping for at least 2 boys of different. There's supposed to be 4 different options in here, and as far as color variations, but they're all white base. So I'm hoping for at least 2 boys with 2 different variations, and then the rest girls. So we'll see. But anyway, I gotta put these back. They hadn't seen each other for like a week, so I wanted them to kind of chill out with each other, especially for him because he's like alone for this last couple days. Oh yeah. And put them back in their houses, back with their mamas. Don't you dare, because I can see her ready to jump fly. Yeah, I'm trying to get your door open and you're trying to fly, so here we go. Oops, back, upside down. Not my best movement, but I knew she was going to fly, so I was trying to grab her. Well, that is all that she wrote. The boys will go in next because they're going to get their beds changed, and they'll get their dust baths at that time. I usually wait to get them done toward the afternoon before I go to bed because they need to have a little bit of it calm. The big birds are all asleep, and then girls are all done. Although this one looks like it's getting messed up again. But anyway, that is the introduction to my quails and my different lines. And we'll see what happens and what these ones look like when they hatch out. You have a great rest of your day.